Jared, I can definitely see how you hit some of those baby draws, some of those straights, but the inconsistencies, I would say, come back to two things: the inefficient movement in your pelvis, and then your setup. So I think your setup kind of presets you to lose your inclination to the ground because a lot of the weight is in your toes. So what you'll see is you stand up pretty straight, but as you're reaching your arms out, that's putting a lot of the weight in your toes. So I think the first thing we need to do is get you in a proper setup. That's going to allow you to start with that inclination to the ground. And then the second thing that we need to work on is keeping that inclination to the ground. So, first thing for setup, what I want you to do is stand as tall as you can. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your butt and you're going to push your butt behind your heels. Now, when you do that, I am not going to flex the top of my spine forward at all. I'm just trying to keep it where I started. Push your butt behind your heels, and that's going to give you that inclination to the ground. This is also going to let your arms fall right under your shoulders. We don't want you reaching out, okay? Now, what you're going to see at impact if you were to put your swing on slow-mo is your body doesn't have any of that inclination to the ground anymore. You're starting to stand up. That's because when you swing down, this club is steep and it starts to work outside of the ball. By you moving your pelvis in, standing up, handle raising, that's your way of trying to save from the club from swinging super out to in, and you're trying to save it to swing a little bit to the right to straighten it out. When you do this correctly and you time it correctly, that's going to be the baby draws. That's going to be the straight shots. But it's all timing based. If you don't time it that well, you're going to top it, you're going to skull it, it's going to go way left, it's going to slice a lot to the right. So the consistency is going to be fixed through maintaining that inclination to the ground. So it's very important that you start with this at setup. So stand tall, push your butt behind your heels, and that's going to give you some inclination to start. When you swing back, turn with your left shoulder down. Now your downswing tends to move like this, and you'll lose that inclination to the ground. If this club, if you turn and tilt, arms work around you, this club is in a good position, it's more shallow, not coming as steep, that's going to allow you to rotate while keeping your pelvis from moving in toward the ball, and then your right shoulder is going to be able to go down as well, and that's how we're still going to keep that inclination to the ground, and that's going to help with consistency. So it starts at setup. Setup has to be better. Push the butt behind the heels. Arms are going to fall under your shoulders. Turn back. Arms work more around you. Once the pitch of the club is more shallow, we can rotate while keeping our pelvis behind us, not moving it in toward the ball. So the pelvis is going to stay and rotate on the same axis. And then you'll be able to keep your inclination to the ground through your right shoulder going down as you turn.